JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is a series. Unfortunately, I now have to tell all of you that I did in fact lie in the title. I've actually seen 3 episodes of part 1. So sorry that I lied. And because JoJo is so, Jojo, I had this idea one day that what if somebody like me, who hasn't seen very much of JoJo, tried to guess the entire plot of JoJo and it was accurate. So this video goes out to JoJo fans. If you're a JoJo fan, get in the comments and let me know just how accurate this was. This is gonna be a fucking tragedy. There's a guy, his name is Jojo. He is a big buff man, and he's cool as shit. And then, there's this other guy named Dio. Dio doesn't like that. So Dio kills his dog, and then kills his parents, and then kills his wife. No, he makes out with his wife. Very big difference. And his wife is like, no! And then Dio's like, it's me. Dio. Like in the meme, you know? And then the whole house burns down and they both die. Except for Jojo. Jojo never dies. Jojo goes on a little adventure and he meets some guy. And that guy is like, here's this superpower that I'm gonna teach you how to use. And Jojo goes under a big training arc to learn how to use the superpower. Meanwhile, Dio is actually alive because Dio's a vampire. Dio sucks blood. He's like a little mosquito. He's always there and he sucks blood. And so Dio's off on doing his own thing, you know, while Jojo's in the fucking desert. And Dio fucks his wife. Dio fucks his wife. And this all happens in a village nearby, right? That's where this happens. And then Jojo is like learning how to use this power so he can protect himself and his wife. But little does he know, his wife is being fucked by Dio. It's crazy. And so Jojo goes on his little adventure and he beats up a monster thing. And then he beats up some other guys. And then one day, he's face to face with Dio Brando. And then Dio looks him in the eyes and he goes, Jojo, I fucked your wife. And then Jojo's mad. You fucked my wife? And then they fight once more as they are reunited. And then, Dio's dead again. And so is Jojo. But not before he has a child. We're on to part 2 now. Where he has a child. You're not gonna believe this. His name is Jojo. And so Jojo is cool as fuck. And now it's the late 1800s. And so Jojo, the new Jojo, not the old one. The old one's dead. The new one, he meets this guy named Caesar. So Caesar is Dio. The way this is gonna end up is that Jojo is gonna once again go on a bizarre adventure and meet all of these different people, and he's gonna have sex with one of them. I'm gonna guess now who he has sex with. Now, if this were me, if I had to choose who I would fuck among this cast of characters I'm looking at right now, I think that I would pick, well, Streza looks hot, but it feels like a red herring. Is he hot? An antagonist? Okay, I'm sorry, I'm spoiling myself right now. He's in part 1? What? If I had to pick who I would fuck, I'd go with Lisa. She's hot as fuck. So he fucks her. And then Caesar's like, I don't like that. Cause I like Lisa. And then Jojo goes to Caesar one day and he stares Caesar down and he's like, bitch, I'm gonna stab you 32 times in the abdomen. And then he does. And then Joseph also dies. But not before having a child named, we're on part 3 now. You're not gonna believe this. Jojo. Okay, I see here that Joseph Joestar is still alive in part 3. We're gonna ignore that. So Jojo Jotaro. So there's this guy named Noriaki. Okay, he's the cherry guy. I know who he is. So what happens in this part is that Dio is back and he has a very strong jawline, and Jojo is very jealous of it. So he goes on a journey to get a jawline as strong as that. And along the way, he meets his stand, because I know what that is. And this stand sells fruits and vegetables because it's a stand. And Jojo's like, oh, fuck yeah, that's fucking sick. I'm making so much money. And fucking Dio is like, you fucking bitch, I'm jealous of you. They're now jealous of each other. They see qualities in each other that they don't have themselves, and it makes them upset. And Anubis sees this and he's like, I want them to fight because that's cool. And then Mariah is fucking hot. Holy shit. Oh, the monkey. I know what the monkey did. I saw that clip. Oh, I saw that clip all right. So the monkey thing happens, but I don't know what happens after the monkey thing. The monkey is horny. And so Jojo looks at the monkey and he says, hey, horny people aren't allowed in this town. And then the monkey says, alright, I'll leave. And Jojo is now a national hero, and his dad is so proud of him. And then Dio shows up and says, there can be no peace, for I am Dio. And then Dio takes his massive horse cock and slams it downtown, and everybody dies. But not before part 4. Jojo has, you guessed it, another Jojo. So, this time, it's probably the 1970s, and Jojo is now a delinquent boy at his local high school. He's a rebel boy, and he doesn't follow the rules, unlike the last Jojo. And his father would be really disappointed in him if he was alive. And Jojo, I got it, he has daddy issues because his dad is dead, and that's why he's such a rebel. Oh wait, his dad isn't dead. Okay, his dad's alive, but he still has daddy issues because his father is absent. He wants his son to follow the rules more. But his son's like, no, Dad, I can't do that because people are treating me unfairly and I don't like it. Because he knows how unfair it is to be treated unfairly, when he sees other people being treated unfairly, he will then treat them unfairly. And it's a beautiful cycle. And one day, there's a dog, and the dog probably dies. It's fucking JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I know, I saw the first episode. What the fuck is Bug Eaten, not Bug Eaten? What is this series? And then, Kira. Oh, I got it. So the villain is Tonio. Because Tonio looks like the guy from Ace Attorney, and we all know what the guy from Ace Attorney did. Tonio's a chef, and he makes bad food on purpose, and he gives everybody in the town food poisoning. And one day Jojo eats the food, and Jojo gets very sick. He discovers it's because Tonio poisoned the food, and Jojo gets really mad and slaps him across the face one day in his own restaurant, and he says, I can run a better restaurant than you, buddy. And Antonio cries, and then he dies. But not before part 5. Wait, who's the Jojo in this? Wait, what? Who's the Jojo? Giorno. Okay, so the new Jojo, he's from the future. He decides to time travel back to the year 2000, and Giorno goes, wow, this place fucking sucks, and I want it to be beautiful. So he decides to become a famous star in Hollywood. He becomes a famous actor, and he stars with actors like Hilary Duff in movies such as movies. And then one day, Bruno looks at him and he goes, he's my rival in business. I need to take him down. And so, I'm about to make a reference to Glass Mask. Not before part 6. Not before having Jolene. So Jolene, she's young, hip, and cool, and she's in jail because she committed arson, she robbed a bank, and then she committed arson on the bank. So now she has 2 counts of arson and 1 count of robbery. That's a lot of crime. But her friend Hermes I haven't taken Spanish in 7 years. Costello. He calls her up in the booth like the way they do in the jail cells. And he says, "Hey Jolene, you fucking suck. And I copied your lipstick shade. I'm gonna steal your cat." And then he hangs up and Jolene's pissed. She's like, he's about to steal my cat. And and get this, Dio is back. And so Hermes goes on a quest to find her the keys to her apartment because he doesn't believe in unlawful entry. He believes in unlocking doors properly. Why is somebody named after Vivienne Westwood in this story? We'll throw him in there too. Viviana Westwood, famous designer, designed all of Jolene's clothing. She's actually a famous model and models for him. I'm a genius. And there's a girl named Gwess. She's also a model. Why is Jojo Kujo in this story? You were in part 3. Well, okay, Jojo is back. And so is Dio. Why is there a guy named Weather Reports? What is going on? Why does Irene look just like Joe? Okay, I've got this. Okay, let me start over. Restart. Jolene is a famous model with Viviana Westwood. She models all of his clothing, and so does Gwess. They're best friends, and there's a guy named Sports Max. He drives a sports car, and he's trying to give money to Viviana Westwood so that Jolene can model for him instead. But that doesn't matter. That's a side plot line. And then there's a girl named Irene. Irene is her long-lost sister, but she's evil, and she's trying to kill Jolene so that she can take her spot as the famous model and get paid a lot of money. And she actually was sending secret letters to Jolene in the mail and telling her, go rob a bank, you're running out of cash, and blackmailing her. She's blackmailing her and trying to get her to pay her lots of money. And she's been paying monthly installments, and she has her mom hostage. And then she goes robs a bank to get more money, and she burns it down. So now she's in jail. And guess who breaks her out? Hermes, because he stole her lipstick. You know who wasn't very happy about that? Dio. Dio is upset. Dio has a standoff with Jolene. And she's like, hey bitch, you're supposed to be dead, and you suck. And Dio says, I do not suck, and I'm alive. And Jolene then kicks him in the balls, and Dio dies. And Jolene, well, she's hot, so she gets to live. And that's part 6. So yeah, you don't need to watch Jojo anymore. I just told you how it goes, and accurately. I hope you liked this video and that you learned a lot about Jojo's Bizarre Adventure today, and that yeah, thank you so much. This one doesn't need an outro either. Wait, I already... Yeah, I'm done. Who cares? Okay, cut.